What's going on, folks? Oh wow, yeah, today I decided to take a drive through the city and look at some of these abandoned houses and see what could be flipped. Or I mean, there's a lot of nice real estate, and I was just thinking about that, you know, and I'm going to get to that later on in this discussion, because it's important for you people to realize that the very things you want to see concrete in this world, right, require some level of thought and action from the populace. And that's the simple truth. And a lot of things that don't get done. I mean, like, I looked at about 7 houses going down this block, you know. And, you know, this is a bad area that I'm driving through, and it needs to be, you know, rehabilitated. Now, I was having a really interesting conversation. So this will be for this discussion, because this is not on a particular subject of behavior, but we're going to discuss. And I was having a really good conversation with my barber earlier today, and we were talking about a few things. And so I'll make this, you know, this conversation will have two distinct we'll have two distinct discussions in this conversation. I'll put it like that. And the first thing is trivial, but it's something I want you guys to think about, because it was really bugging me, you know, business wise. You know, I mess around a little bit, and, you know, my barber, obviously, he has a business, and, you know, a couple other things. He does some rentals and stuff. But, you know, we were talking about customer service, you know, as it relates to the consumer. And being a owner of a business and trying to patronize customers to stay afloat or to keep business active is something that a lot of people who want to jump into business because they may have the capital to do so, but they don't have the fucking minds to support that business. And that's the problem in the world. Now, why is this behavioral related? Well, it's the attitude of the person. The assholic, you know, I like to use that as a word. Assholic traits of these people, you know, that make them act and perform in certain ways that disenfranchise a customer. So I'm not going to stay on this too long, but I'm just going to say that, you know, when you're a business, you do things for the purpose of growing your business. You know, you don't shun customers, you don't push them away. And how is that done? Well, in a lot of cases, you see situations where business owners are arrogant, right? And they don't want to meet the needs of the customer, right? And one of the things, one of the real pet peeves, and I asked him about this because this is something that happened to me where, you know, I've told you guys in a previous video, I think I did a video called Boneheaded Traits of Shirtless Americans. Y'all go back and look at that. It's in my, you know, it's an older video, and I don't know how many views it got, whatever, but it was a pretty good video. And I was trying to get you guys to see that the mentality of people in business, the arrogance of, I'm a business, I have customers, you're going to take my service. And that's just a bad way to look at things, because I don't have to take your service. You know, I can go to the next guy and I'll spend my money there, right? And maybe you don't care. Maybe you have enough people, but if you realize that I'm one person and I do count. If I came to you 10 times, think about how much revenue you would have accumulated, you know, from my patronization. So I want you guys to understand that you have to do better if you own a business and you're not completely thinking this through. You're being one-dimensional about something that requires, you know, more thought effort. So, you know, this is one of my pet peeves, and I'll get to this. One, I cannot stomach, you know, business owners who try to bully you and force you into taking their services. You know, that could be call centers and stuff like that. I don't like that. But I don't like when they actually come out to your home. And like I told you in that video, you know, the guy, I had a panel box installed, a new one on my unit, and the guy wanted to program the unit to the way he wanted to do it. And I was telling him, first of all, that, you know, I'm there a few times out of the month. I'm not there all the time. So I wanted to set the gauge on what I needed it to be set on, because it would have better suited me. And he could not hear that I'm a customer writing him a check for his service, telling him what I want, and he's trying to argue with me about what he thinks I should do, right? I know better than him, right? So my thing is that you know, I asked the barber how he would approach a situation like that, and he saw my point, because, you know, what kind of mess is that? So I set an appointment. So I used him as an example. You're a barber, right? I call you, I make an appointment, and we kick around the scheduling. Maybe you can't be there on the day I need. So what you do is you ask me, well, what day can you be available if I'm closed this day? And we kick around and we work out something, right? You don't tell me, okay, you want your hair cut. You're going to show up on Thursday at 4 p.m. and we're going to do the cut. You don't say that. We come to some type of consensus or something. We agree on this. And this is how business should be done or should work, right? So I'm tired of seeing these half-ass business owners who go belly up or something and then just don't understand how that happened. You guys are not trying to satisfy your customer base. You know, and that's very unprofessional. I had someone do that to me recently. I needed them to come do something at my home, and they were telling me when they were going to do it. And I said, okay, that's fine if you booked up for this day, but how about this day? And I gave them several days, you know, a month in advance. And every single one of those days, we're booked up. You know, how about this? We come to your house 3 months from now on this date, at this time, and, you know, you're going to be there. You know, we're going to get there at 7 in the morning. You know, like, what are you talking about? I'm writing you a check, you know, so I think that's fucking foolishness. I think that's arrogance. I think this unprofessional is a lot of things. So we're going to chalk that under the bad behavior, you know, moniker or something. But more importantly, let's talk about what I really want to talk about today. And that's why I talked to you guys earlier when I brought this up about the neighborhood and everything. That neighborhood back there has been around for hundreds of years. Okay, and there were some nice homes and stuff. And if you just think about investments, now I talked to you about in that video or several videos I've talked about, you know, gentrification and certain things. And, you know, you have to understand, if you have a home that has been sitting there for 50 years, rotted out, rats, raccoons, everything running through this house, it's going to take thousands of dollars to repair the roofing, the plumbing, all of this stuff. Someone's going to go into that neighborhood, gut the whole place out, repair all of those homes, and then what? Put the same people who destroyed the home in the first place, or the same people who never saw the value in the neighborhood in the first place, back in the house. See? And then they're going to just repeat the cycle. And that person's going to be out of their money, and you're not going to even care. And that's what I'm saying about the way we look at things, right? Property values. Why are property values in these bad neighborhoods? Why are property values so low, right? There are many reasons for this. Property values are low simply because of the blight that I was talking about. But let's talk about this. We don't need gentrification necessarily. If it happens, oh well, because that person had the money to fix your neighborhood, and if they're going to, you know, recustomize their home to some top status, if you can't, you know, you couldn't afford to live there anywhere else, so why would you think that I should be able to live in this home and pay pennies on the dollar for this home that this person invested thousands of dollars in? See? So when you think about what values, I mean, what makes a home property values go up in a neighborhood, right? The people who are willing to invest in their own neighborhoods. So let's use this for example. What brings down a neighborhood? Crime, right? Blight, all types of criminal element and all of that. All of those things are rated, and the people who have money to buy homes are not going to live in that area because it's dangerous. They could die. See? So you have to, first of all, get rid of the mindset, and I'm getting ready to get some gas, folks, but we're going to finish this out. You have to get rid of the mindset of the assholes, right? Ooh, it's hot too. You're going to have to get rid of the mindset of people of wanting somebody to do something for you. That's the first thing. You're going to have to cut that shit out. And then you're going to have to think about your home and the value of your home and what you need to do to uplift those values. Don't allow people in your neighborhoods that are doing crime. Don't allow prostitution and drugs and all of these things. And then you can build those houses and they'll look pretty forever. And you can lock out the criminal element and your property values will go up. You have to take back your own neighborhood. Force those assholes into the shit places somewhere. If you want your neighborhood, you have to fight for it, folks. We're going to do another video. You guys pick up my book, I Love Bad Behavior. It's on Amazon. It's on my website, thinkbehavior.info. Like, share, and subscribe, because I got to get ready to get out of this car. It's getting hot. But I want you, we'll talk about it. I'll do another follow-up video on this, about gentrification and so forth, and certain mindsets. I love bad behavior, but I love people who recognize that if they have their own power, they can take it back. It's not about taking it from someone else or getting it from someone else. It's about you having a fucking neighborhood, living there, trying to uplift your own neighborhood, rebuilding all those houses, and then locking out the elements that destroy those houses. Y'all have a nice day.